What is up, Dokkan player? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Blaze. Today we are back with another Dokkan battle video. And today, before we start the video, of course, hopefully you guys having a very good day today. So today, we are going to go ahead and take a quick look here, quick preview, breakdown of the new Ultimate Red Zone boxes coming for both the movie edition and also the GT edition. Now, this one here, I have to tell you, my boys, this is where the big boys pants are going to play a huge factor because I would say that GT baby is definitely very hard, but these guys are like probably a level or two depending on the bosses that we're fighting right here. It's gonna be much more difficult compared to baby. So if you have been having trouble with baby, these guys are definitely are no sloucher because they are completely ridiculous. Now we do actually have your shout here to Luca Dokkan, where we actually have here a breakdown of these bosses, their HP, their attack, and all that shebang here. So I guess we're gonna first off start off with, of course, here the movie bosses. So we just actually got here the cooler, and we also got here, of course, here the Android 13. But now this is where I would probably say these are definitely going to be up there with the most toughest bosses in Dokkan, because so far when it comes to the Ultimate Red Zone, I feel like GT has definitely been the harder version compared to movie bosses. But now things have definitely changed here. So the first thing that we have here, of course, is going to be Bojack. So Bojack's minions are definitely, do not underestimate them because they do hit really hard and they have a lot of HP as well. So we'll take a look here at the characters. We have Gokua, Zangia, Beto, and we also have here Bujin. So, as in terms of HP, you can see here that Gokua has here 10 million HP. His attack per normal is going to be 190. His defense is 58k. His super attack damage is going to be here 475k. Now, you just have here a 15% chance to do a super attack per turn, which is max of 1, and then also does here only 2 attacks per turn. But you do have a 20% chance that he actually does here 1 attack less. So he does here basically 1 to 2 attacks per turn, and then he also has your 50% chance that one of them is going to be a super attack. So Gokua is not really much of a threat, but again, he does do a lot of damage on his super attack. Next one that we have here as well is that we also have here, of course, here Zangia. Again, you can see that she has a roughly about 10 million HP. Also, I did forget here that there's also damage reduction, which is 62%. So again, yes, their defense is very low, but these characters do have your damage reduction. So going back to Zangia, her attacks per normal is going to be here 2 million, defense is 60,000, and then for her super attack damage, it's going to be here 500,000, which again is quite a lot here. And then it's only be a 17% chance that she actually does here a super attack. For Beto, we have here his HP is 10,800,000, he has your 210 attack per normal, defense is 65k, his super attack damage is 525,000, and his chance to do a super attack in that turn max per 1 is going to be here 12%, and he does 3 attacks per turn here, where he does actually have here a 30% chance that he actually does 2 attacks less. So there's a chance that he can actually do here 1 attack. And of course here we have here Bujin, where Bujin has here 10.3 million HP. His attack here is 205 per normal, defense is 62k, and his super attack damage is 512,500. Again, these guys have a lot of HP, considering that these guys are only minions. Now, what you can see is that these guys can be sealed, but they cannot be stunned. They can also be debuffed when it comes to their attack as well. Now, if you actually had a strategy to actually take out these characters first, I would probably say you want to go here for the character with the least amount of HP, which of course is going to be Gokua, or you actually want to go ahead and go for Beto, because Beto can actually attack 3 times per turn. So he's actually the one that does the most damage, given if he actually does 3 attacks per turn. So I would probably go for either Gokua first or go for Beto, and then after that you take out the rest later on. Once you beat Bojack's minions, you actually have here, of course, here his first form, Bojack. He is going to be Extreme Int. He cannot be stunned, sealed, attack lowered, defense lowered, and also he has here a 5% chance to dodge. So that means that you can also dodge here as well in this phaser. So if you want to bring your UI Goku, SR UI Goku, or any character that can dodge, you can definitely bring them because he does not cancel dodge here. Now his HP is going to be here 30 million, his attack stat is 305k per normal, his defense is 74k, his super attack damage is basically almost 900k of damage, which is 854k of damage. It's only be here a 16% chance that he does a super attack per turn, which is max of 1, and he does here about your 7 to 8 attacks per turn, because you do have your 13% chance that he actually does 1 attack less here. So this Bojack is not too difficult, but again, his super attack damage is really terrifying, especially even his normals, because he is doing here an extra 100k compared to his minions right here, roughly. So Bojack doing 8 attacks per turn is pretty scary. So defense is very important. Also has your damage reduction of 66%. And then once you actually beat him, then you actually transform into his full power with his Bojack squad. This one is definitely, I would say, probably top 4 bosses, most difficult boss in the game of Dokkan. And the reason why is because he does actually seal, and he also does actually lock your rotations as well. And he also has your a 5% chance to dodge. The sealing and locking rotations seems like it's almost every single turn, which is very problematic because if you have the wrong unit in slot number 1 and he actually does a super attack, his super attack does actually 975k of damage, which is basically a million. Bojack does have your 34 million HP. His attack per normal goes up to 325k, and then his defense goes to 78k. So Bojack is pretty crazy. He also does here 9 to 10 attacks per turn. So Bojack is definitely, once you actually get to this part right here, is definitely very difficult. So I mean, you could bring stacking units here, but I mean, it's gonna be a lot of RNG because a lot of people are actually attacking multiple times. So I think your best bet, if you actually have your 200% leader skill, I would probably say it's gonna be here. Of course, you're the Ginyu Force. If you don't have the Ginyu Force, you can use here the Majin Buu team with the Majin Vegeta. Sorry. But if you're using a 170 lead, I feel like only Hybrid Saiyans is gonna be the only team that can actually get this done here. Maybe Wrestle Universe 7, but you'll be very lucky with the dodges because if you don't dodge, Bojack is gonna hit you pretty hard here with the attacks and also his super attack. So that's gonna be here for Bojack. And also I forgot to mention for part 3 for the anniversary, we are getting here, of course, your Bojack, Janemba, and also Broly. So next one we're going to move on is, of course, going to be here Janemba. Now, Janemba, you can see, is only going to be here 2 phases because in the second phase, he can actually has his Rage mode where he does actually transform to the physical one. Janemba, I would say, is definitely tough. Definitely tough, but I don't know that I would say he's like that dangerous, right? Because the thing is that he's only 2 phases. So when we take a look here at Janemba, again, Janemba here, his first form, his base form, he can be debuffed for attack and defense, can be sealed or stunned, but again, you can also use dodged characters. His HP is going to be here 29 million, his attack per normal is going to be 255k, defense 75k, and super attack damage is going to be here 637,500. He does do here 8 attacks, but again, with the chance to dodge, or actually do 1 attack less, it's going to be here 7 to 8, and then he has your damage reduction 64%. So of course, Janemba right here, I mean, I think is the best spot to actually stack your units, just because again, his normals aren't too crazy, but they do hit pretty hard here. But as long as the wrong unit does not get super attack while you're stacking defense, this Janemba shouldn't be really a problem. Now, once you beat the Janemba, he goes here to Extreme Int. Basically the exact same thing that he has here, but now he has a 10% chance to dodge, and also is a orb changer as well, so he can definitely mess up your orbs here. His HP actually jumps here to 50 million. His attack here is now 310k per normal, defense is 77k, super attack damage is 868k of damage, and then he also does here a actually has here a 40% chance to do a super attack, and also does here basically 8 to 9 attacks, and he also has your damage reduction of 68%. So again, this Janemba, once you actually reach here, definitely the 50 million HP is a huge jump. It has quite a lot of HP, considering that he also has your damage reduction and a 10% chance to dodge. So killing this Janemba very quickly is not very possible. But I mean, again, like I don't think this Janemba is that crazy, but this Janemba starts to go ludicrous, right? So I believe it's gonna be here to cost you like 2 turns before he actually transforms into the physical Janemba. And when you actually transform to the physical Janemba, this is where he becomes very problematic. His HP again is going to be 50 million. His attack per normal is now 350k. And his super attack, this is where it becomes really deadly, is that it does 1,050,000. That just basically 1 million for his super attack effect. That is really, really bad because you need a character with at least, I want to say, if you want to survive here, at least probably 700k of defense to actually tank his super attack damage right here, where you're gonna take here probably like 300k, right? So unless they have guard ability or have damage reduction, like you need minimum to survive is 700k of defense. So, but the good thing is that this Janemba here does allow you to dodge as well, so nothing too crazy right here. He does do here 10 attacks per turn, with a chance of 10% -1, so it does basically 9 to 10 attacks per turn. But again, this stats are add up because again, his attack per normal is going to be here 350,000. So this Janemba is very, very brutal. Also has here a 10% chance to dodge here as well. So that's going to be it for Janemba very, very quickly. And then of course here we have here probably the most difficult boss in Dokkan. No introduction is really needed. We have your Broly. Now Broly, the first stage is actually really simple, and the reason why is because he does cancel dodge, so you should not bring any dodging units, but this Broly can be stunned and he can be sealed here as well. So if you're looking to really stack your defense, you should really take advantage of the first form Broly. And the reason why is because again, he could be stunned and he could also be sealed, so you don't have to worry about the super attacks. His HP is only going to be here 18 million. His attack here is 230 per normal. His super attack is going to be here 575k. And then of course he does here 8 attacks per turn. But with an 11% chance to do it 1 attack less. So he basically does here 7 to 8. And then he has damage reduction of 64%. This Broly I found to be not really that difficult. Because again, you can actually stun and seal him right here. Now when you actually beat this Broly, he actually goes into these, he actually turns into extreme tech. Now at this point here, he's basically invincible because he actually cannot be debuffed and he also cannot be sealed or stunned, and also does cancel dodge here as well. So Broly does get an increase of his HP to 20 million. His attack per normal is now jump here to 260 per normal. Defense 75k. His super attack damage is gonna cost here 728k of damage. So a huge jump from his first form. That's basically almost 200k plus on his super attack damage right here. He does have here only a 14% chance to do a super attack per turn. Number of attacks he actually does here is 9. Again, with a 10% chance, so he does here 8 to 9 attacks. Of course, his damage reduction will be here 66%. Now, when you beat this Broly, this is where it gets really ridiculous. These last two bosses, or last two stages, is basically, you're going to need RNG if you're looking to do this with no items on global. So now we have here, of course, your Extreme SCR for Broly. His HP is going to be here 25 million. His attack here is 300k per normal, so definitely you don't want to bring here any physical type units because he would absolutely destroy them. Defense here is going to be 78k, and is for his super attack damage, which is an AoE, so everyone is taking this much damage, is 840k. That is probably the most cheapest attack in Dokkan, in my opinion. But the good thing about it is that it's only a 14% chance he actually does this, and it's only once per turn as well. So again, 840k on a super attack, that's an AoE. You're basically, this is what, basically 24 million damage in one turn, right? So again, you have to be really, really careful. The way to actually beat this is to either use a Ghost Usher or to use a double Weeze to actually survive it. But if you're looking to do a no item run, you need some RNG because again, Broly does not allow you to dodge, so you have to be very careful. And of course here we actually move here to the last phase, which of course is going to be AGL Broly. Again, you cannot dodge his character. He cannot be debuffed or sealed or stunned. His HP now goes to 50 million. His attack per normals are now 400k per normal. Defense is 81k. His super attack damage, sorry, is going to be here 1.2 million, which by the way, he can do twice per turn, and it's a 20% chance. So 2.4 million. Good luck. Good luck with that damage because that is completely disgusting. Actually, this should be here 2.4 here as well, not 24 million. This should be 2.4. So my mistake. Yeah, 2.4 million for the SDR Broly. But yeah, so he also does here 11 attacks per turn as well. Basically, he also has here 70% damage reduction and also a 10% to do one attack less. So Broly does basically 10 to 11 attacks per turn here. So again, this is going to be really tough for a lot of global players for sure, especially if you're free to play and new to the game of Dokkan, because he does so much damage. He's definitely the most toughest boss in the game of Dokkan. So now that we're done with the movie edition, we're actually going to move on to the GT edition. So for the GT edition, we actually have here 3 more bosses. We have your Super 17, we have the Shadow Dragons, and then we have your Shenron. So let's actually take care of this slide right here, and then we move on to the GT edition. So for the GT edition, this one right here, I'll probably say is where it is still very difficult, but now movie bosses is definitely much more difficult in my opinion. In stage 5, you actually have your Super 17. these guys, look, they have 16 million HP. That is a lot. And the reason why is because they also have here a 5% chance to dodge. They cannot be attack, lowered, sealed, stun, the whole shebang. So they're basically invincible. And their attacks per normal is going to be here 250,000 attack per normal. Their defense is 70k, and their super attack does 625k of damage. So again, this is a very high for the first stage. But again, Super 17 is only going to be here 2 stages. As far as their attacks, both these characters do attack here basically 2 to 4 attacks per turn. And the reason why is because they have here a 28% chance that they do 2 attacks less. So they do 2 to 4 attacks per turn. And also have your damage reduction by 64%. Once you actually beat, of course, here this the duo right here, the City Boys, you now move here to Super 17. Super 17 very quickly here has here 39 million HP. Attack here is 370k. Defense is 80k, and his super attack damage is basically 1 million, which is quite a lot again. So this is where, like I said before, for the leader skill, when it comes to HP, attack, and defense, all those factors, specifically HP and defense, really play a big role, because again, these super attack damage are just insane in the game of Dokkan. Now the thing about the Super 17 here as well is that you will notice that you cannot use any Ki Blast because he will absorb it, which will allow him to heal up as well. So Super 17 definitely is going to be very difficult. He has also extreme SCR here as well. He does 9 attacks per turn, 8 to 9 attacks here, and also has a 5% chance to dodge here as well. So Super 17 very tricky. The real gimmick, of course, here is that you cannot use Ki Blast against this opponent. But again, you can also bring dodge characters because he does not nullify dodge here. So that's a good thing about Super 17. So you can definitely bring your Reptile Universe 7 in my opinion, because if you're using WI Goku, you're going to have your type advantage and you have the revival as well. So that's going to be it for Super 17. Next, we move on to, of course, the Shadow Dragons. So the Shadow Dragons are pretty much the biggest one right here when it comes to the stats, so I won't really read anything too crazy. But I find that the Shadow Dragons are nothing too crazy. I think it actually gets pretty intense when you actually get to Nova Shenron. Nova Shenron and Ice Shenron are probably the most difficult ones in my opinion. Now, one thing you also want to mention here is that the second stage of the Shadow Dragons, this character right here, he also does a nullification when it comes to Ki Blast. So, fortunately, you cannot use any Ki Blast. But the good thing about this is that he does not heal up from these Ki Blasts. It's just a nullification. So, that's going to be a good thing about this. Again, I'm not going to read everything too much right here because, again, it's just pretty long right here. But the main concern in the stage right here is going to be here Nova Shenron and Ice Shenron. Nova Shenron hits pretty hard per normal because he actually does here 340k per normal. He's also STR. And he's actually the hardest hitting Shadow Dragon in the entire roster, as you guys can see here. Where Ice is number 2 because he does 320k per normal. His super attack damage does here basically a million, I'll just say here right here. And again, he's the hardest hitting Shadow Dragon here as well, as you guys can see. He actually does here 8 to 9 attacks per turn, and also has a 10% chance to dodge as well. So yeah, this Nova Shenron, once you actually beat him, I would say you're pretty much smooth sailing. His HP is only going to be 30 million, so normally the bosses are like 50 million, but Nova Shenron is only going to be here 50 million, so it's nothing too crazy right here. So that's going to be it for the Shadow Dragons. And then we move on, of course, here to the last one right here, which I believe, in my opinion, is the second hardest hitting boss. Do we not have him? Do we not have Shin Shenron? Oh, come on, are you kidding me? Oops. Are you kidding me? We don't have Nova Shenron? There's no way. No! Okay, well, that is interesting. Well, I guess we're going to freestyle with this one right here. But basically, you have here, of course, here Shin Shenron. He first started off here with the LR version. Pretty much, he's invincible. As far as the stats, unfortunately, we don't have it here. But again, he is going to be here in type. Nothing too crazy, but he does debuff also on his super attack, so you gotta be very careful with this Omega Shenron. Then you move here to Shin Shenron, which is gonna be here, of course, your STR, Extreme STR. He does hit pretty hard. I think he does here about like 90k. On a good defensive unit, he probably does like 90k per normal, which again is pretty crazy. And then, of course, you move to Omega Shenron. Again, the good thing about this stage right here is that you are able to dodge. So again, UI Goku is definitely someone you can definitely bring here. if you are struggling with a 170 lead. You can also use Hybrid Sage here as well, which I think they will do quite very good here. Yeah, Hybrid Sage are definitely be really good here. Now, this Omega Shenron does have here a countdown just like Cooler, where basically it probably does here like 1.3 million attack stats. So, again, you want to make sure that you don't eat that countdown super attack because it will kill you. But again, if you have the Ginyu Force, if you have Golgo, again, those guys can definitely tank it pretty well. But this Omega Shenron is definitely difficult because it also does a lot of damage per normal. So, unfortunately, I don't have the stats here for Omega Shenron, which is pretty unlucky because we have everyone except for Omega Shenron. But he's definitely number 2. You can definitely take my word for it as the most difficult boss here. But yeah, that's gonna be it for preview 4, of course, here the Ultimate Red Zone. So hopefully this guys was actually helpful for you. As I wanted to say here, yeah, this will be dropping here in part 3, which should be dropping Monday or Sunday for some of you. So keep a lookout here, but that's gonna be here the Ultimate Red Zones. Do keep in mind here as well as that for the Ultimate Red Zone, once the part 3 drops, you can actually start using here your tickets as well. And if you actually beat, of course, here the stages, you actually get here, of course, the support memory. All right, so that's gonna be available, boys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, sub for more videos, come down below, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.